Hello, my friends. As promised, this is going to be my budget for the month of February. In this video, I will show you how I use Quicken to do my budget. It's very simple. It's very easy. I'll show you how easy it is in just a moment by sharing my screen with you. But the deal is here, Quicken does most of the work for you, as you will see, and I love it. All right, as promised, here's Quicken. Let me show you how easy this thing is to use. Starting at the top here is your budgeted spending, or your total spending, and then your budgeted spending. I have about $3,000 in budgeted spending right now, and this is how I came to that conclusion. First line, auto insurance. It says it's about 112 a month. That's determined by an average created by Quicken, and actually says 105, but I know we're actually spending about this. This is going to be for the truck insurance, and that's through Progressive. And if you want to edit that number, you just click this edit button. Next, we've got auto transport gas and fuel. It's actually, as you can see, as we started traveling, it actually went up. The average is about 210 a month. I had budgeted 150, so we left that at 210. Def, I changed to $11 because that's the average. But this is really all I've spent on def since I've, bought the truck. The mobile phone. The average is 474 because I paid off a bunch of stuff. When I got my final paycheck from work, included all my sick vacation and holidays, I went ahead and paid off all the hardware that I had on my. I mean, I'm talking about the Google Home, both cell phones, everything. I just paid off all the hardware. I didn't want the debt. So the T-Mobile is actually about $110 a month. So what I'm going to do is just go to edit and type in 110 right here, which is already in there. Next, utilities electric. Now, if you look here, uh, electric, goes up and down. Here's May and June, blah, blah, blah. Look at December. Because I am in Thousand Trails, it wasn't that expensive for electric. But then in January at Thousand Trails, I had to pay $63 for which is $3 a day. It's 21 days in Thousand Trails times three is $63. So $63 a month is what I spend for having 50 amp. It's a $3 a day upcharge for 50 amp. So that kind of went the end of one camp and the beginning of another camp ended up right here. Average $92. I'm just going to go ahead and leave 92 in there as the average. Propane, we're averaging about $38 a month. You can see here we spent a bunch on propane in December, January, and February. We've been in Thousand Trails, so we use our electric um, fireplace. And then I also have this electric Pure Guardian heater here. It's really nice. We use those to keep us warm. And we also have electric blankets on the bed too. So as you can see here, January and February have zero, but I'm going to budget $38 a month for our electric because that's our average. Bank fees about $4 a month. Alcohol and bars, we don't really go to bars, but our alcohol, if you look, we can go months in here without any alcohol, and sometimes we go crazy when we're having a party or something. If you look here, it's $40 average, so I put $40 in here. Next, groceries. Before we were on the road, this was our grocery bill. Since we've been on the road, it's dropped down to 530 there, and January we only spent $398 on groceries. And I'm not going to put the average. The average is $671. It's just two of us. We're just traveling around. I'm going to put $399 or just make it $400. That's our grocery budget. Save that. Food and dining restaurants. I've got about 100 in there for that a month because if you look, before we went on the road, look at these restaurant totals. Because I'm doing the live stream, it's not allowing me to click on these. $463, $394, and then we get on the road and look at this. Just don't eat out as much. But I'm leaving it at 100 for now. Health insurance. This was 150 for her, 190 if you count her. She has a medical condition some of y'all are aware of, but Nancy has Christian Care Health Network bill sharing basically. And because of her condition, I also added $40 a month in there, a brother's keeper, and that covers everything that could go wrong with Nancy. And it was $190, but now it's $340 because I had to add 150 in for me. My personal health insurance has expired through my last job, so now I'm going to join this, and that'll be increased up to this $340 number right here. That's health insurance for both of us. Pharmacy is about $41 a month. Home improvements, if you look here, we did a lot of home improvements before we left. Look at this, about $450, $443. And look at January was very small. Home improvements are going to be kind of taken out of our emergency fund, so I'm going to leave that blank. Home insurance, we just got insured through Safeco, and it's 246 was the first month, 396 was the average. I think we're going to leave it at 247. I don't think it's 247. I think that that was just a premium we paid for 6 months. Um, we'll know next month. We'll see what happens. Home supplies, about $86 a month. We spent a lot on home supplies right here, right before we set off on our adventure. But our home supplies are just things that you need around the house, and we're going to leave that at an average of $86 a month. That sounds good. We'll just leave it at 86. Remember, if all these numbers come out to some number that is unmanageable, then we will uh, have to reduce some of them. And home mortgage. Now it's about $747 a month for the house, but we've been paying an average of about $967 a month. See here, we paid $2,000 this month here for the RV. 967 is a good number. Just going to leave that there. It's budgeted for 800, but as you can see, it leaves us 167 extra dollars. I may have to shave that down once I get to the bottom line here, and I'm doing this live with you guys, or as I'm recording it. I'm actually doing my budget. The home rent. Now it's $135 a month. That's in case we have to leave 1,000 Trails Park and go somewhere else. If you look at all these. $525 a month. This is what we were spending every single month. Every single month as we were staying in a RV park that we paid for. And then we went to Thousand Trails, it drops down to here. And what this is 1 week we stayed near Nancy's mom. Yep, home rent dropped off drastically. And this 135 was we didn't have to do that if we didn't want to. Next we have interest expense, like on credit cards and stuff. Now I did charge up a bunch of stuff, my drone, a bunch of stuff on uh, credit card, and I did pay all of that off. If you look here, this is the interest. I paid $87 that month and $74.95 that month. This December, January. Things I had bought, toys like this for things for the road, and I paid all that off. But in the meantime, look at that. I paid over $100 for interest just for that. I mean, that's just I could have bought something else for that. And I don't like debt. The average is $16 a month on interest expense. It's probably never going to be anywhere near that, but let's go with the average. Membership cost, Thousand Trails, and this is going to be interesting to look at. This here is $3,500. This is where we bought our used Thousand Trails membership in November. Now January's got a little dollar amount here of about $848. What is that, you might ask? We paid our annual dues of 540 something. Okay, I had to go look this up, see why I spent so much on membership costs. This $3,500 right here was our membership for Thousand Trails. That's forever. One time, never have to pay it again. This one says $848. Okay, well, 540 of that is our annual dues for Thousand Trails. The $299 of it, I believe, is the amount, is for the Trails collection. It gives us 100 more parks we can stay in. Can only stay in those 14 days, and we have to be out of those for 7 days. But while we're out of those for 7 days, we can be in a Thousand Trails Park for 21 days. So we're covered 365 days a year. Average is $1,091. Now we're only have to pay those every year. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this. You really can't take the average of 1,000 because this is never going to happen again. But take this one, $848. Watch what I can do with that. Membership costs. Edit. Calculator. 848 divided by 12. $71. That's what it costs for us to live. $71 a month in Thousand Trails parks. Couldn't do it without you, Thousand Trails. Thank you. Personal hair care. You can see how much I've been spending on that. It's mostly for me. Its average is $11 a month. If you don't use it, it rolls over. I'm going to need a haircut pretty soon. I'm just going to leave this at 20 bucks for this month. Laundry. Now we cheated last month. We stayed with near her mom and we did a lot of groceries there. But I mean, and a lot of times we just go get quarters and we don't really put it into the proper category. So there's probably more laundry money in here, I'm sure. I think we put it into some other category by mistake, maybe groceries or something like that. But it is going to be about $10 a month. I made a joke in my last video that I will wear a shirt more than once a day. I have worn a shirt for 2 days if I really haven't got out of the house much or anything like that. You know, your undergarments, of course, you're going to change every day, your socks and stuff like that, underwear. Um, that's laundry. Pet food and supplies. It says average is $67. So we're going to look and see what that's about. So these are all the different amounts we spent on pet food. It's actually gone down to $55. So I'm going to change that to 55. Remember, keep in mind, this is only budgeting up through the end of last month, which was yesterday. You don't want to do this in the middle of the month because you'll mess up your averages. Shopping for clothes, I have a $30 a month budget for that. We really don't do a lot of that on here. It says it's $22 a month. And if it builds up right here, but since we started a new budget this year, there's none of these have built up amounts in them. But we're going to go ahead and leave clothing at, what is the average? About $22 a month. I mean, I wore uniforms that were provided to me, and so did she. We didn't have to buy a lot of clothes, but you know that this allows you to buy some T-shirts and stuff. Electronics and software. This one, $123 a month. That's because I bought a drone or a computer or something like that. $649 here. I'm not sure what that was back in November. But you can see here, these are my little expenses for buying, online games and stuff like that. And don't really need that. YouTube occupies all my time now. I don't really have time for games. So I'm gonna leave that at, what's the average? $123. I might go with the $23, but other than that, no. What's not in here is gifts. I donate to some people's web pages. That's not in here. Let's see if I can go ahead and add in. These are all the categories you can use right here. I'm going to go down and I'm going to find gifts, not charity, but gifts. I'm going to add that category in. Now you'll see it has added a category, gifts and donations. It says $141 left in there. That's previous budget money that we didn't use. But as you can see, I have donated some money to, last month, this little green thing here, $17. I donated $17 to various YouTubers channels. So I am going to go ahead and change this to $20 a month. I'll limit it to $20 a month until I have an income. Just giving gifts to uh, other fellow YouTube content creators. Okay, what does this all mean? At the end of the day, I would be spending $3,170 a month. Now, my original budget called for about 2,000. So what do you want to do? You can't lower your auto insurance. Your fuel, you can stop driving as much. Your mobile phones, they got to stay around because every 3 weeks you're paying $63, assuming you're in a park that charges the $3 surcharge a day. Propane, uh, it hasn't been $38 a month. Let me go ahead and edit that down to about 30. Bank fees, I'm not expecting to have bank fees anymore. Alcohol and bars, we can definitely knock that down to $20. Groceries, we had a $300 budget planned. I'm gonna make it 350. See, I'm just showing you guys how this can work for you, how you can get this into within your income. At the top of the screen is an income category. That's personal to me, and you guys are going to have different income figures in there, especially if y'all have jobs and stuff. All right, restaurants. We're not going to cut those out, but you can drop them down to $75. I'm just showing you ways you can get your budget under control. Gifts and donations, I can try to cut this down to about $15. Now, once I start making money on YouTube, these numbers can change. But for now, health insurance, I can't do anything about that. That just went up 150 a month because I've got to add myself onto Christian Care Health Network. Pharmacy, $41 a month. Honestly, now that we're on the road and we're not really, I better leave that alone. Home improvement. Okay, this is a big one. Home insurance is not 247 a month. Um, I think that was 6 months. So you can actually take that number and divide it by six. $41 a month, or say $42 a month. Home supplies, we can cut back on what we buy for just home supplies like cleaning supplies and stuff like that. We don't need $86 a month for that. Just make it 40. The mortgage, we can stop making extra payments on that and just drop it down to the $800, which is pretty much minimum. It's 770 something in reality. The rent, this right here is totally subjective. We do not have to stay outside of Thousand Trails parks unless we want to. Interest expense, that's not going to happen anymore. I don't have any more credit card debt. Membership costs, $71 a month. That's just going to build up every month because I don't have to pay membership costs until a year from now. So $71, $71, $71. This number here, as you'll see in my future videos, this number will just go up until we have enough to pay. When the time comes around for us to pay for our membership fees, it will be built up in this category right here. Because see this right here, it shows rollover options. You can actually turn a rollover off, roll over your balances at the end of the month, roll over only positive balance at the end of the month. Just roll over your balance. You should all be doing that. They're not, are they? So let's go back and do that. See now, playing with those numbers I just did, we're at $2,496. It's much closer to the 2,200 that I had originally budgeted. Let's finish doing that before I go off on a tangent. Hair care, laundry, pet food supplies. Let's try to keep that around 50 bucks. Clothing, let's just keep that around 20 bucks. Electronics and software, just try to keep that around $15 a month. I really don't play online games anymore as much. Now we're down to $2,481. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start telling this thing to roll over the balances. That didn't change anything. A little bit, see, a little bit was left over from previous balances. So even though I budgeted 221, there's 222 left in there. I budgeted 210, that's 210. Def, I budgeted 11, there's 11 still. Mobile phone, no effect. Utilities, electric, no effect. If all these are no effect, I'm just going to delete them out of here. Oh, here you go. Utilities propane. Look how much money is accrued in here. I have $38 a month budgeted, but there's $81 left in the propane fund because I haven't been using propane. I could even go ahead if I wanted to and zero this out, not add anything in the budget for this month, and still have $43 left for propane. That's not wise, so we're just going to put the $38 back in there. Put 38 in here, watch what happens. That 43 becomes 81. I have $81 I could spend this month on propane and not be affected by my budget. Uh, bank fees, they don't need to be rolled over because there's nothing there. Alcohol and bars, I have $20 in there. Now I have 57. See, we don't go to buy alcohol every month, so it had actually accrued up to $57. I could go out and spend $57 and it will not exceed my budget, even though the budget's only $20 a month. But because I didn't use uh, the budget every month, there's $57 accrued. This is the glory and the wonder of Quicken. Here I have groceries at $350. 350, 350. Let's turn the rollover on. Now I've got 352. I had $2 left over in that account, so it actually allows us to spend $2 extra and not have to worry about it. Uh, Food and dining restaurants. I have $75, $75. If I do this, boom, $224. So I have not been a very good husband. I have not been taking my wife out very often. And because of that, there's 224 extra dollars in our account to take care of that. Gifts and donations. $15 becomes $15 because I always use that budget. Health insurance, 340 is 340 unchanged. Pharmacy, see, it's budgeted for 41, but because I haven't used it in 2 months, I've got $82 accrued in pharmacy money. Home improvement, rollover balances at the end of the month, still zero. This is $42, still $42, $40, 200 over. Yeah, we spent a lot of money on home supplies, so technically this 40 needs to go towards that till that's paid off. I don't like negative numbers in my budgets. I'm just gonna turn that off. The home mortgage. See, the home mortgage here, I've got 800 budgeted, but I have 183 left I could still spend because I had not spent as much as I had budgeted. Are you getting the gist here? Rent, zero becomes 390. We have $390 left for rent, even if I don't budget a penny because I was still budgeting for the amount of money we were spending when we were staying in the campground. So I have some money accrued in there. I don't even have to put anything in that category this month if I don't want to. Okay, here, yeah, rent is zero, but there's 390 unused dollars. Interest expense, not even gonna mess with that one. This one's already turned on. There's $71 in membership costs. I just created that category while you were here. Hair care, $20 out of $20. Roll it over. Now there's $37 in there because I have money I did not use from previous months. Personal care laundry. There's $17 in there now. If I roll over to this $50 pet food and supplies, we have 117 left over. That's a bunch of money accrued in there. If I could turn this to zero, I'd still have a positive amount I could spend on pet supplies this month. Um, Clothing, $20 becomes $40. Electronics and software, $15 becomes $92. I could spend $92 this month on video games and still not affect the budget because the money is still in the account from previous months unused. Thank you so much for watching. Quicken really is a great software package. It's worth at least looking into. If you have any other questions, because I went over this kind of quickly, please just let me know in the comments below. I'll answer any additional questions with an additional follow-up video. There's a lot more stuff Quicken can do. This is just the budgeting part of it. And also, every day I go to my bank and download transactions into Quicken. I don't have to put them in manually. Once you set up your categories and it knows what they are, it automatically does that for you too.